Oh, woo! Yeah! Who's up for round 2? No.
Alright, coming back into the same spot we were. It's now REMS Stalkers with new addition to the TMC channel, soon to be renamed.
Yes!
Trademark. Name to be determined, yes.
Yeah. So, Ari, what you done? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired after 2 days of this.
Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not as good as the man behind you, but how...
Mr. Seventh Place. Deserves the prop you got. Deserves the prop you get.
You got yours. Now it's your video. Alright.
That is fine. Okay. Day 1 went well. Very stressful. I needed many drinks afterwards.
Oh yes, and as that we have done.
Correct. Everyone has a good time. You're still drinking. Hey, this is a celebrate. He
actually hasn't stopped.
We need one of them. We need one of them in the group.
He needs to take off his status and show the flush.
That's just plus vanilla spice right there.
Yes. Day 2 heading into it was extremely stressful, but I'm like, okay, I've made it at least to day 2. I'm happy where it is. The jackets are nice. The jackets are
The drip.
Yes, I need to wear this now when I'm, washing my car. Or I'm playing Digimon. So, yes. Sadly, I didn't end up getting into top 8, which is fine. I didn't get the fancy gold jacket on like someone over here.
Still massive.
Yes.
Still massive.
Still massive.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, boys. Yes, so I ended up playing another purple deck, no surprise. It is loop, but it is MIN-MERVA loop. So we'll start with how the deck goes and go into everything. Okay, so of course, put in mirror eggs.
Best deck in the house.
Best egg besides if you're playing like Beelzemon, which you're playing Pagu.
Yeah.
Which, arguably, fair enough. Okay.
Shout out to that one guy. Fucking hell.
Shout out to the one Beelzemon player that got top 32.
I don't remember if I mentioned
knocked
it.
me out.
No, you
top
definitely
32.
did. Yeah, he knocked Declan out of top 32. Look, very sad, but having a Beelzemon on top 32.
No, I was actually really fucking.
I'm impressed by that. Just wait a couple more months. We'll see Beelzemon everywhere topping.
It's like that time that you
big happy. Exactly. It's almost like the time you top with it. But yes, only to be knocked out first round by Mr. Joseph Reyes.
Oh yes.
Mr. Blackwell Grey, third place. Very proud of you as well. Good job. First card in the deck for government.
Seen this before.
Yeah, we've seen these before.
Will's deck profile.
This thing video.
Gabu.
Oh, you've accidentally picked up my deck.
Oh, dead. No, different sleeves.
He has all hearts.
Yeah.
I have alt hearts as well.
Oh, true.
Yes, Mr. Mid-Deck.
Yeah, if you don't know Will, he likes nothing to be above like min rarity.
I would play every card as a common if I could.
Hey, you know what? Lot cheaper to build.
True.
Yes, 4 Garbus, inheritable, draw 2, trash 1. Honestly, that is the opening rookie you want to see. Along with this, Eismon and Demi-Mirror is just, you get through your deck so fast. So, must play as a 4 of. I would not cut it to anything.
100%.
3 Ignite enables a lot of plays. We'll get to it, boy. We'll get to it.
Are you reading same script?
We script these!
Alright,
Whose deck are you playing?
not yet.
Exactly. I'm not saying that, I'm saying before. Look, 3 Ignites, normal when attacking effect. I arguably did only read this card until a couple days ago. For some reason, I was only playing 2 on my deck originally, bumped it up to 3. Thank you, Declan! Arguably, it did come up a lot in day 1, popping my own Merva to pop their level 6, especially when it was Blackwell Grey when they had no protection, and they also at times forgot about the effect, and they were just like, oh, okay, I guess I have to take it.
Yeah.
Inheritable plays a lot into what we're doing later on with the loop, so gets just free memory a lot. Even off stuff like normal Eismon, just if you have that in hand, gains an extra memory.
I didn't mention that, but yeah, passing turn with Eismon summon just catches people off guard. It's actually insane, because this is all turns.
It's all
not
turns.
just your turn.
Oh god, yeah.
I did have one game where I actually managed to make him pass turn because he deleted another Digimon. He deleted a Dark Lizard, drew 1, trash 1, played the Eismon, he was at 0, passed to 1, and I had 3 analog Utes on field with a Cerberus in the back, so I was just off to the races.
Yep.
So, granted, he was a little bit salty about that. Next, we have 2 of the Gazi in the new Collector's Herald. Arguably, was I playing? No, I was playing this at 2. I wanted to bump it to 3. There is no room for
Is
it.
there something you'd like to say, Deck?
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
Who was running it at 1? Which one of you fuckers?
That was Mr. Alex.
No, that was you.
That was you!
That was
You cut it
I
for
too.
You cut it for Dan Debbie. For Demi Debbie.
Because
Yes,
we
you
had...
And then we put other stuff.
We couldn't not run it. We couldn't run that. I can't psych. Yeah, so fuck you.
okay.
All right, anyway.
Okay. Ghazi, big floodgate, just stops all memory chamber against the Blackwell Grandma match. Sometimes works because a lot of the time they're just running off the cool boys. Minus, Mr. Joseph Reyes, who just plays full red memory boost.
As it is.
Very, very consistent deck. Very scary. Also a reason he was the only Blackwell Grandma player afterwards in top 16.
What?
Yes. Ghazi did take me a couple games because they just kept sitting on memory boosts so they couldn't do anything.
Yep.
Even in the mirror match also did end up seeing me a game, especially also from Grandis, which got me into day 2.
I mean, yeah, we definitely didn't play it because of the mirror, but
Of course.
it came up.
The mirror,
It comes up.
The mirror came up surprisingly more than we thought. I did
Yeah.
not expect to run into any, except if I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the last rookie we play in the deck is one Psych one.
Yep.
Originally, this was at 2, but we're not... At this point, we're not versing a lot of decks that just just reduce play cost besides either Crossheart or Death X. Death X is just, if they have it, they have it. Crossheart was more of... It wasn't a good matchup into what was getting played Black or Grey.
I mean, technically Blue Flare, but who's fucking playing that?
Technically, we did actually have a blue flame top 32.
True.
Against it.
We did.
True, my bad, yep.
I know.
They lost first round, but you know what? Even so, they got to top 32.
Yep.
32 is a massive.
Achievement enough.
It is a massive achievement, exactly.
It's also worth noting that you shouldn't play it really at more than one, because if you are forced to evolve it in Raising and have to promote it to get the swing and it lives, it just turns off Merva.
Correct. It turns off Merva, it turns off your Death X
Yeah.
if you need to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a detriment to you at times because it does all players. And it is
Because
just...
it's fair.
It is fair, unlike some other cards. I'm not looking at you, Grandis, but you're just annoying. Okay, next. 4 of arguably one of the best cards in purple, which is Force Scatter Mode.
Oh, beautiful.
The draw 3 trash 2,
fine.
just... Yes, we got 3 participants and 1 store champion. Thank you to Mr. Alan Simpson, who got this for us as we have Shade Collection at the moment.
Where the fuck is he?
Yeah, way to go.
He disappeared. He wanted his headphones. I think it was loud. Who knows? It's fine.
Fair.
I would arguably say one of the best cards in purple. Next to Jack Raid, it is very, very close. Jack Raid sends a lot of plays, but Eismon just draw 3 trash 2. Gets your Eismon on field. Can make your consistency. Makes your Eismon very big at times, which did come up, which we will get to later on in one game.
You also need it in trash to float into Eismon, so
Correct.
having it there...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's his deck performance.
Look, he did.
We're all being very informative. We're all being... Anyway, here comes Alan.
There's the Alan.
Hey!
Mr. Store Championship over at From the Deep in Penrith. Come down if you're ever in the
We
area.
were just saying thank you for the
Eismon Scatter Mode.
You're welcome.
He's like, what the hell is going on?
That's pretty lies.
pretty
That's from the deep. That's Store Championship.
So it was?
You bet I didn't win.
Okay, so anyway...
You won a Store Championship. I don't know which one.
What are they going to do, fact check us?
Exactly. Okay. Now, the card that is next to Eismon Scatter Mode. Eismon. Regrettably, this is now put to 1 because this made it too broken.
Yeah.
Being able to play this out for free, going to a normal service, or even going to a promote, just for 1, and swing a lot of times for rush, happens.
It's so sad that we lost the Eismon, because
They-
the best way to play around memory blockers was Deathclaw, summon Eismon, continue. But
Exactly.
we can't do it consistently.
We can't do it consistently anymore, even with also...
I mean, you're not legal.
No, even with the calling. We'd add
It's
back...
also limited.
Exactly, which is also limited because, they don't
Because
like...
there was an
They don't like
infinite
purple
mill
being
loop.
good. Exactly, there was an infinite mill loop, which thankfully never came to us,
Yep.
even though I wanted to build it.
So did I.
So did you, but yes, Eismon extremely good. Took me 1 game where I had 4 scatters in trash, where Eismon was 13k. It could Blackwell Grandma couldn't reach. If it did live, no thanks to a Hades Force in their last security, I would have gone into promote, and promote would have been lower than MIN-MERVA, so could not redirect the promote for game. Did end up winning the 3rd game of that one, but that was seeing a Hades Force in security is never happy.
100%.
It happens. So, next card.
Dark Lizard.
Duck Lizard, yes. Look, retail draw one, trash one came up a lot. Especially for, obviously, the MIN-MERVA players to play it out for free and get the rush. Even if you need the retail blocker on some turns, it does come up the grandest matchup if you can raise it up from raising and going into it. If you can kill it off the board as well and they've got nothing else, you can kind of just wall up after that. Even if you can get enough memory to just hard slam it, you've got another swing if you've got the MIN-MERVA out, which came up more than often. So a good alternative also to scatter mode if you don't see it out of raising on top of a Gabu. But obviously scatter mode is a lot better because it gets you into more cards.
Ensuring you have pieces in trash is very important. Like your resource management in both of the decks is so particular. You have to be very careful. Like you can't just. I know we did pick it up in 3 days, but
we also played it last year, so it's a foundation.
You guys do have some skill in the league.
No, but the thing is that this is almost always the priority if you can throw it, because if you're gonna go
As long as you have another level 4.
If you have another
And also you'd be throwing it anyway, so evolving it, it's sort of like you'd just be discarding it anyway.
So look, Dark Lizard, another great level 4 to draw and trash. Retail is just
almost always evil.
exactly. It's just the best benefit because it's if you end up killing something with it, a big guy, it's like okay, sweet, I get to draw trash off of it as well. It can just wall up as well if it gets if you got MIN-MERVA on the field because it does give that blocker and the rush, so you get another free swing. So it is also a good alternative for a level 4 to get that trash in security. Next we play one of the promo packages. So Ginku promote Ginku came up a lot more than I thought it would. Specifically Kinkaku, I found times where I had this in hand and I would evo into it on purpose just because I knew that they had a rookie on field that was either most likely a Terriamon, a Gazi, or a Pomu. I'm looking at you, Grandest players.
Fucking Pomu.
Pomu sucks. Pomu sucks.
Or even in just one.
Even in just one, yes. Even in just one to pop the Blanc that just gives everything blocker. Thankfully, it didn't come up in my one just one match in day 2, but it very well could have. Also promote to just gain that extra memory, especially if you have both pieces in trash. Go MIN-MERVA with Ignite underneath.
6 costs.
Play the exactly. Play the promote. Play Dark Lizard or Ignite. Get the memory, draw a card. You're seeing more pieces, and then swing, trash a card. Pop level 3 if they have one, and gain that extra memory is just way too valuable to take out. Originally, I was only playing the promote, but then seeing your guys' list as well, especially the one that you sent me when you guys were practicing. The having the one of in trash is just an extra discard fodder as well. So it just ends up happening. Even the Ginkaku, I came up once or twice where just I'd end up killing a scatter mode and that was just on the field. So I'm just oh sweet, I gain the extra memory. So it can come up in very niche situations, but it does happen.
Yeah, you freak shit.
Yes. The last card which I don't know if I would cut is a Solmon. Solmon, another retail guy, gives all retail plus 2k. Value-wise, you need 2 or more to stop the Metal Grey X because, yes, it does get Lizard to 6k. I, for some reason, thought the entire time that MIN-MERVA had retail. So,
Nope.
yeah, I thought it got to 14k to get bigger than Black Ball Grey. I knew it does not. So I did play it as a 1.
Luckily, we worked that out before the
Did work out before the event. Originally, it was 2-2 split between Dark Lizard and Soul. Would I have kept the second Soul? I think the Dark Lizard, just seeing it more often, was just better.
Yeah.
But the Soul one did come up, I think, in 1 or 2 games where it was just trying to pop something that was... It was the just one matchup where it was trying to pop 5k. I ended up playing the Soul one, and it's just 6k, couldn't pop it.
So the first card that is actually different between our list, and you're
Correct.
anyway, I kind of regret this card.
This card garbage.
You had no Demi Debbie as well.
I had no Demi Debbie as well.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I did play the Demi Debbie. Would I play
I think those spaces go up higher.
Yeah, when
into
you
the
go to the
options.
top end of that.
I feel-
Yeah.
Yes, I do
Well,
feel.
it's the top end, isn't it?
I do feel like the Solmon could also be replaced for some removal. I feel like if I played a Death Slinger in there, I would have much preferred that over seeing Solmon. However, sometimes Solmon was the only card that I saw that I could trash and then play MIN-MERVA to get that retail swing. So
having the 4 targets that aren't ignites or other MIN-MERVAs to put under.
MIN-MERVA's to put on, exactly.
You know, it's important.
It is
It's important that you see them.
Sometimes you'll just get aggroed down, and you just need to have seen the Vital pieces early, so you can set up a defense. And like with having 4, I found like that was kind of the magic number.
That is fair. So we now up into level 5s. So we got the 4 Cerberus. Cerberus is just a staple in loop.
Yep.
Draws 2 trash 1, plays werewolf, gains the free memory, gets the free swing. Also, integral part of getting the memory in my loop, which is slightly different to theirs. We'll get to that when we hit the level 6s. Also, off analog youths, even if you got Demi-Mera, Gabu, you're still trashing a bunch as well. You see your pieces, you're able to activate your analog youths to gain that free memory that you could need to go into your next pieces for the loop. Cerberus 1 at 4, I feel like it can be cut down to 3, but I do like seeing it at 4 because it just seems as... Exactly. It's a level 5 target. It's 6 costs to play, so I did find sometimes just hard slamming it.
That's so cheap for a 5.
It is.
For a draw 2 discard one as well.
The 5 was so
it's
much
just
value.
versatile.
For a draw 2 discard one, it is only 6 as well, so it does get hit by the Metal Grey X.
From the Metal Grey.
Exactly. As well with what you were saying in your video about the DDG evolve from the just normal Metal Grey evolving into on Grey 1X. Sometimes just hard slamming it is the way to do it because it's like it can't DDG evolve into something that you'll get almost no value of. Say you had to evolve into a Kinku because it's your only like level 4.
Actually, kind of on that though, you can also, if you swing Scatter and it survives, you can
You can
evolve
evolve into
into
Cerberus.
Sub, so
Exactly.
it was to delete it, or devolve and you get Scatter instead.
I actually won
Correct.
a game just because I swung into this and it lived, and then Evo into hard play the werewolf for the game.
So
You're going first.
yeah.
Most deaths can't answer a level 5
true.
first.
That's
Yeah.
another thing.
seeing the Cerberus as well, I did get a little bit greedy. I did swing more than I thought I would. Sometimes it paid off, sometimes it didn't. However, sometimes that it didn't pay off, I somehow ended up seeing Eismon in my draws from Cerberus, so I ended up playing the Eismon right after. My opponent did not like that. Or they would pop my scatter mode to pass turn, and then I would play the Eismon. They never like it when it's just like, oh yeah, pass turn, they leave a body on the board when they
Just
kick you.
casual, free, like not being punished.
Exactly.
And that sort of pseudo Eismon rush is really neat when you have it at like 9 or 11k, and it's just going to survive the swing.
Correct. There's also why I got put to 1. Rip for Eismon. Rip for Eismon. But Banda, you know what? Don't hit purple. We're suffering enough.
We've seen enough.
MDF, eyes.
MDF wasn't your guys' fault. That was the other hybrid's fault. We can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
I think at
That
this
was the
point,
other hybrid's
I think at this point, if it was still legal, it would be our fault though.
Yeah.
We would exploit.
Yeah.
We would get a ban.
Look, we didn't commit the war crime. We were kind of a part of it.
Okay. So obviously, next piece in the werewolf, in Cerberus line is just the 3 werewolf.
Oh yeah.
Werewolf to play, gain 9 memory, is just obviously if you play it off an effect and you got that Cerberus out, you're gaining that 9 memory. It is more than valuable. You're getting that draw 2 trash 1 off the Cerberus. Having that rush body as well, just to evo and swing sometimes. I did find myself seeing myself do that more often than I thought I would. And just having it to do the loop, which we'll get to when we hit the 6s, is just...
Just one quote from
Integral.
last year, by the way.
Yes?
I don't like the Cerberus package much.
I didn't like the Cerberus package. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like the Cerberus package when it was Lilith loop with Zwart.
Yeah.
No, I did prefer the promote package. I did prefer the promote package over the Cerberus because I didn't see the value in the Cerberus because you had to keep the werewolves in hand. But that was also
With the Eismons being a
exactly. That was with
Yeah.
the Eismons being a 4.
Yeah.
After Eismons being cut down to 1, it was okay. Cerberus package
That was
works.
the only thing.
And then originally when the first MIN-MERVA loop came out, it was okay. Cerberus package is what gets us all that memory to just hard play stuff.
The promote package a lot more the promote package was a lot more deterministic, where you could guarantee you're getting value out of the swings. Whereas the Cerberus and the werewolf package, it was a lot more. Sometimes you have to swing the Cerb and if it doesn't die, and sometimes you have to swing the werewolf and need it to live to go into Lilith and stuff. It just made the plays a lot harder to be consistent.
Correct. With this loop, however, I feel not even with the loop, just with the meta at the moment. There's unless you're hitting into level 6s, Cerberus is living almost always.
Yeah.
Even Serb,
9K is huge.
exactly. Even Serb with certain matchups, even into Granders, they're not playing. If you're only hitting 5s and 6s, and that's all they're dying from. They're not playing a lot of removal, except for the sides.
It's just their sixes.
No,
It's just
no,
no,
sixes.
no,
Yeah, because
No, Cerberus, not Werewolf.
Yeah.
So against certain
levels,
matchups,
the other one.
Cerberus, yeah.
so against certain matchups, you can afford to be a bit greedy with the Cerberus swing, which I did find myself doing if I could see myself going for game. As I said, it was a greedy move, but it did pay off and it did get me to top 32. So, the first level 6 we're going to is MIN-MERVA. So, a little bit different from just straight up Merva. Retail on opponent's turn, if they play anything, I just play level 4 or level from trash. Didn't see that effect come up, I don't actually think once. But that's not the effect. That's honestly not the effect that I wanted to get off at times. It was the undulation. Undulation, play level 5 or play a Merva from trash.
If your opponent has 2 or less.
If your opponent has 2 or less specifically. So yes, I did find myself once or twice forgetting that, where I did punish myself for it. I didn't end up I lost the game. I didn't lose a match because of it. After I did it the first time, I made sure never to do it again. So MIN-MERVA establishes the loop with a option card, Revive from Darkness, where you'll pop a Digimon to play level 5 from trash, but on plays won't work. You will pop your MIN-MERVA with it. You'll bring back the Cerberus. Actually,
I'll just show the combo of the cards.
exactly.
Visual,
No,
eh?
not this one. Not this one.
Yes, not this one. Thank you, Declan. Okay, so you'll at least want 2 of these in trash. As long as you got 1 of each in trash, you are fine.
Or even
One
under.
under.
Or even under.
Even under.
Just need both available.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we'll get to the option card in a minute, but it is Revive from Darkness. On play, delete 1 of your Digimon, then play level 5 from trash. So the loop is you will delete your MINERVAmon, say you're at 0, you'll go to 4. You'll play the Cerberusmon off the Revive, and then you'll play the Werewolf mode off the MINERVAmon. Werewolf mode on play will pop this, so you'll draw 2 trash 1, and then also you'll gain the 9 memory.
So positive 5 memory.
Positive 5 memory for basically nothing. And if you can somehow find a way to do that consistently, and you've got multiple of these in hand, and multiple nerves in hand, you are off to the races, and they basically sit there for 10 minutes while you do your plays. Sorry to the Blackwall Game On player from Melbourne. You saw me playing myself 15 minutes every round.
15 minutes, wow.
3 games, 15
Well, can you
minutes
not last that long?
Turn 3, swing for game.
Playing stuff for 15 minutes. I take 2 minutes.
I agree. So,
And monetize.
look,
Guys.
MIN-MERVA, I don't think I would cut down from 3. I like seeing it at 3. There was one game where I had both. I had 2 of my MIN-MERVAs in security, and I had to rely on 1 MIN-MERVA as I'm digging through my deck trying to find it. Did, however, get this back about 3 times to the point where my opponent. We'll get to that.
Legally!
We'll get to how we did that in a
You need
minute.
to be careful doing that combo in the big tournaments. You need to make sure you specify like what you're playing from what. Otherwise, the opponent calls a judgment for that. Like
Yeah, especially in Top Cut, you're doing each
Yeah.
action sequentially, so you have to know the combo.
Correct.
make sure you
During,
specify MIN-MERVA, bring back.
Yeah. There wasn't.
Well, Revive, bring back Sub,
Yeah.
and then Minerva,
Yeah.
bring back Werewolf.
Correct. So.
don't do shortcuts.
Yeah.
Don't do
yeah.
shortcuts. I will say the first time I did the loop on every single person that I did, I said, yeah, no, it wasn't that. So I would say, do you know how the loop works? They would say no. Yes, I said, okay, I'll be doing this, and I'll explain how it works. So I explained them piece by piece how it works. Do this, do this, do this, do this. I said, and every single time I had to do it again and again. I asked, would you like me to perform the loop, or are you okay with me doing this?
Shortcutting it.
Exactly. They're okay with shortcutting because they can see I have the pieces in trash. They've already seen that. Nothing has changed. It's just
Yeah, there's no hidden knowledge.
Exactly. There's no hidden knowledge. They know how the loop works. And
You've
I'm
got to
just
be a
like-
real asshole if you're making you do it every time.
Correct. There
Or
was
slow
that.
playing.
Or slow
Security
playing.
control.
Yes, that was also to avoid slow playing because the loop turns do take a long time if you're trying to if you're trying to go for game and you're working around certain
Yeah,
things.
you're like, this
Look,
one's from this, and this one's from this, and then...
Maybe we just need a PSA. If you need a second, tell your opponent you need a second.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and be like, take
Yeah.
take 5 minutes. Fuck you. All right, do
And-
it
and-
nicely.
That's also like you sort of need to play these decks religiously for a bit, so you're not slow playing in tournaments.
Yeah,
So
yes,
if you
right.
take this to your tournament and it's the first time you've ever played it, you are going to sit there for 15 minutes trying to work out how to even set the loop up.
Yeah. So this deck does require knowledge of the deck, knowledge of the loop. You need you need to be mindful of time. You need to practice. But once you know the deck and have played the deck, there is many routes you can take. But every single draw, every single discard, adjust the pathways ever so slightly. You want to see how much you have in trash every single time for your Jack Raids. You want to see what cards you can play off your Mervas or your MIN-MERVAs.
Even veteran players like you guys, like when you take a break from the deck, you guys need a few matches to get back used to the deck again.
You need about 4 days.
Yeah, you guys need about 4 days. I should have done a lot. Arguably, I did not practice until like one night with you, and then when we got here on the Friday the night before.
That Friday was very useful.
Friday was very useful. I will agree. We did we did make some changes, which I am grateful to you
made
for.
about 3 or 4.
So yeah, we'll get to one of those changes in the next few cards. So 2 MIRVAs. MIRVA is just Minerva Loop was okay when this didn't exist. It was like, okay, sweet, I can get a lot of memory and bring out Cerberuses and swing out. This just makes it okay. I'm popping this. I get 3 swings instead of 1. I don't gain the memory, but I'm valuing a lot more than I am.
You're popping the fuck off.
Exactly. So, Merva, Digicrossing, bringing out 2 guys, doing it so you can Digicross with the Ignite to get that extra memory, get the Promote out, gain another memory if you have both pieces in trash. Digicrossing it with itself to stop the Black War Greymon de-Digivolving, because that did happen once or twice to me. And they ended up getting rid of my blockers, but they couldn't get rid of enough security to just go for lethal.
Can you cross Minerva as well?
You cannot cross Minerva because she is Shaman and Olympus 12.
Okay, I wasn't sure if she was crossing.
Sadly, that doesn't happen. But if you do also somehow, get a Minerva on the field with a Minerva, she works because you're bringing out more level 4s. She also has retaliation, so you can swing with her on that same turn.
And she gains blocker.
And she gains blocker as well. And if they're swinging with their Gaimon and she's just on the field, you just block, and they end up playing a Minerva again, and you just gain more memory.
And she does have less DP than Minerva too, so you can do the swing and avoid the redirect of attack.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I think it's also worth noting the fact that Minerva floats into Merva means it's a lot easier to set up the defensive play of like 3 blockers without giving your opponent like 6 memory.
Correct, because you don't need to do
100%.
Yes, you don't need to do the loop to actually get to that defensive play. You can do that defensive play, still have it be your turn, and there's many ways to just delete yourself in purple.
Yeah. Or even just revive and then putting them to 1 or 2 with like the memory gain, and you're just setting up 3 blockers, giving them 2. It's not often enough to actually out the board.
Correct.
It's like you're not worried about swinging with the Minerva because you have this in the backup attacker.
So Minerva, as
even if Minerva dies, you still have 3 bodies coming out from it. And,
correct. The way it was is, if the Digimon could swing and I was evolving into Minerva would be swinging every single time, regardless of if I wanted it to die or not, because I had something in hand that would kill it. It was also a free swing, because I'm like, if it dies, I'm not afraid, I will play Minerva. I'll get advantage off it. If it doesn't die, I get to kill myself.
He's all good. He's all good.
I'm all good. I got my support.
He's got his boys.
I got my boys.
But Ari, how are you getting Merva and Minerva on the field at the same time?
Oh, you're too rushing. Secret spice. You got to the end of the deck profile, guys. Don't click
until 5 minutes after.
I'm really glad we've got the retention built 25-30 minutes in.
I've done all the thumbnail pictures.
He's done the.
Alright, so the last level 6. This, I hate to say it, it was a last minute tech in by these boys when I was practicing against their Merva loop. Lilith is just Lilith made the first loop. Lilith is what makes loop good. Lilith is just getting 2 options back for just Evo cost, and especially them being Jack Rays and getting 2 memory off of it is. I don't think there's any other card that gives you that much advantage just for nothing.
And she's pretty cool.
Hey, it's Lilith Mon. That's who we pray to. But yeah.
Get the hammer.
Yes, so Lilith did end up winning me quite a few games. There was one game where I was able to bring back Lilith a total of 3 times to get back Jack Raids out the ass. And my opponent was looking and being like, how many of these do you play? I'm just like, 1. I was like, it was game 3 and I was going for lethal. I'm just like, I play 1 of these. And he's like, You've seen this thing 3 times, gain back like 5 option cards, and just you've been at like 10 memory like for like 5 minutes. I'm like, yep, sounds good.
Yeah.
Rip MDF. I wish you were not banned, but yeah.
Probably for the health of the game.
Probably for the health of the game. So Susanoo for free doesn't show up with hybrids again.
Also, I cannot imagine trying to build this. Also trying to fit in swords and MDF.
Yeah.
And more white tamers, and eyes, and scatter, and the promote package.
The Jack Raid was the cut.
No, answer. Remember. Purple Memory Boost is better than Jack Raid all the time.
Yeah.
Hot take. No, I don't believe that in the slightest. Lilithmon, exceptional purple card. Did win me a few games. Jack Raid's for life. Last card that we have for Digimon Place are Death X. Death X being one of the best secret rares we've gotten to date. Is not. You cannot call Death X spice in any deck.
This thing's like fucking salt and pepper.
And chili. Even the man doesn't.
No. Ooh, I won't go that far.
We're talking about white people.
This is the salt and pepper of every deck. It's like, you want a competitive deck? Okay, here's the deck list. Okay, here's a Death X. Here's the spicy tech.
It's an upstart goblin from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Look. All jokes aside, Death X being able to DDG evolve 1 on everything, popping all level 4s, end of your opponent's turn, popping the lowest cost.
Yes. The amount of times
reduce
evolved.
So good.
I did that.
There was one game specifically where Digivolving into Death X and still keeping turn to get rid of a Omni-X antibody that could stop 3 swings and a blocker Greymon won me the game in a very convoluted way, and I'm not even sure my opponent understood what was going on. Again, this is the same Blackwall Greymon player. It's nothing against you. I don't even think I knew what I was doing until it happened. All I knew is I needed to get rid of Omni-X.
So fucking pissed.
He's full of the bad guy. I don't know what happened. He bit his thumb probably.
No. Death X also being able to reduce cost for every Digimon and Tamer. Just against Cross Art.
Technical difficulties.
Do you need a power bank though?
Oh yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Alright. No.
Smart.
There's one cut.
That's getting cut.
Fuck no, it's not.
Alright, yeah.
What, do you think I'm editing this?
Look, 2 last things Death X. 1, being able to reduce for 3 costs for every Digimon Tamer. Just kills Jeff.
It's so good.
Especially if the opponent knows you're playing MIN-MERVA and they go wide, so you don't get that effect off, and they play into the wide, and you have Death X in hand. It's just, okay, sweet, you went wide, I punish you with Death X, and I play it for 2 or even 3.
And I think that's what this deck has. It's just options for most of everything.
Yeah. Most of everything. There are some decks where you just can't account for it. Great, we'll get to Grandis at the end.
Would you ever consider 2?
I feel like I could consider 2. I think I could even cut the Soul one for a second Death X.
Yo.
I feel like I could do that.
So you could see it more, or you could just slam it more?
Even just see it more, and even just Evo into it more, because it is a good card. If you slam a Death X and you wipe their board, it's very hard for them to come back at the end. Depending on the deck.
The fact that purple makes it easy to run at once.
Exactly.
And add it back.
Yeah.
The fact that
you're digging so much as well.
Yeah. Of course the call can add back Death X, and if it's they've got a wide established board, it's more than fine.
And it's a 15k
Staring
body.
down 2 Death X and you're deleting 2 at the end of the opponent's turn.
Fuck, that's terrifying.
Not even that. There was one situation in day 1 where I Death X'd Digivolve their stack to 2 level 5s against Blackwall Grey, and they had 3 Tamers they had 3 Cool Boys and a Yuya, so I Digivolved them once, and then called it to pop the Death X, added the Death X back again, and played it again for the exact same cost of 0 to Digivolve them again, and then pop because they didn't have the normal Metal Grace.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's a bra moment right there. And that's why people don't like that Death X is purple, because recursion.
Yeah.
We go to the options now. 4 Jack Raids.
Card's good.
Wow. Card's good. What did they do? What a surprise!
Watch the first video.
Who the fuck is We talk about this at nauseam.
No. Look, Jack Raid. Yeah, it's just you need to run into 4. I couldn't see myself cutting it.
Nah, 100%.
It gets you to your plays. It gets you that extra memory. Even in security, gets you memory.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hammer Spark.
It's Hammer Spark on steroids.
Yeah.
It's Hammer Spark on steroids. I can't even say it's Hammer Spark because it's just better than Hammer
This
Spark.
is better.
Every purple deck, regardless, it is you're getting stuff in trash, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You can make an argument that Beelzemon, can't play it because they'll just end up trashing it.
Yep.
But they have other ways of getting it.
They have Deathslinger.
They have Deathslinger, Wizardmon, exactly. Mill, Imp1 plus Pagu for 6 memory guys. We'll see that in the coming months. Next option card, Revive from Darkness. This is the card that establishes the loop, as we talked about before. Minerva, pop, Cerberus, Werewolf, gain 5 memory. 3, I think, is comfortable. It hurts if you trash it off. It hurts if you trash multiple off an Analog Youth. I'm not gonna lie. Lilith one can get it back, which I did see myself doing a couple times. Also, another thing about this card, it reads the same way as Calling from Darkness. So Calling from Darkness, you don't need to pop anything on the field if you have nothing. Ride from Darkness also does that. So if you don't have anything on the field, sweet, you play a level 5 out. I saw myself playing this out multiple times to just get the Werewolf out and swing the game, or just get that extra swing. Or even if something lived on the field, I just popped it to then get the Cerberus. Because it gave me a purple source. Swinging with the Cerberus as well and dying with no rookie, no egg in raising, not a good feeling. We don't play any purple tamers, so if that dies,
Good
luck to us.
Yeah.
2 Deathclaw. Very cheap way of popping the Minerva, also popping one of their level 4s. Also good for popping floodgates. I saw myself popping the floodgate to popping my Minerva to pop the floodgate, and that also would put them down to Digimon to let me get the Minerva off. So, in this deck, I see it as a very, very useful card. I think actually I was playing this at 1. I was playing this at 1 before the start of the tournament.
Top 16 guys.
No. We did the testing. We saw that I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough cheap ways of popping the Minerva. So adding the second Deathclaw, I think we got an Analog Youth because I was running Analog Youth at 4. Seeing the extra Deathclaw did help. It did help in security also to stop a Grandis from swinging from game. Round 2, round 3 they decided to destroy me because Grandis does Grandis things, but that's fine. Call from Darkness. Shout out to Mr. Cameraman for the pre-release one. I forgot mine at home.
Hey.
Yes.
Just one.
Look, yeah, I know.
Sad thing never gets old.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Look, sad thing is exactly. Bandai, you don't like us when we have recursion.
So that was true. We have as many jokes as we have callings.
But tush.
So yeah, look, calling, obviously one of the best cards. One of the best cards in purple just as recursion purposes. Play it while you got nothing on the field to add back. I saw myself even playing this for free. Playing it for 1. Adding back a Rush Digimon, and just having enough memory to just hard slam that, or just hard play Cerberus, pop it with Werewolf, and then just swing for game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
in a toolbox deck, you just need the ability to add back pieces. Sometimes you discard the wrong card at the beginning, or you just get hit in security and you need that piece, and it just lets you fix hands, it lets you undo mistakes.
Or like a rough analog boy.
I think this card is one that you have to, if you see it, you have to focus your turns around it because it has been the difference between winning and losing for me.
Yeah.
It has.
By not bringing it back from like a little, like I know our builds are different, but fuck me, it's so crucial. Even just adding back Eismon and a promote, just to slam it if you pop something, so you're gonna drop it anyway.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
it's just
Like
another
if
swing.
you're calling pop a scatter then draws 3, discards eye, and then you evolve the eyes into a promote and you just swing the game. Like
Exactly.
that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Or
Beautiful.
that could even this is one of getting the Lilith back if you.
Exactly. If you need to get the Lilith back to then recur it again to add back something else. It did happen. Lilith, I did see myself adding this back off Lilith 1 or 2 times. Obviously, it's a card that every build deck would just run a 1.
100%.
Because it's just you trash your pieces, or they get hit in security, or you have a game where there's 2 Mervas or 2 Minervas in security and you can't get them because they don't like to swing trash. You need to keep recurring it. So there's one more option, but we'll leave it to the end because that's the spicy take.
Okay.
Yes. The last thing is the 3 Analog Youths.
Yep.
It's just an extremely good card. It's a white tamer if we had MDF. Rip MDF. we see about that. No. Gets you to your pieces sooner, fills up your trash, gets the memory off Cerberus, and gets around memory blockers because it's tamer effect. So obviously, running it at 3, I was running it at 4 originally. So after playtesting with you guys, cutting it down to 3 and adding the Deathclaw was the right play because still seeing 3 is more than enough.
The removal from Deathclaw is too important, and you are getting consistency with other parts of the deck, but analog is 6, so you do want to run it at less than 3.
Correct. You don't want to run it at less than 3 because it will get you your pieces. Even if you see it in security as well. After I did have one turn where I got Hades Forced, popped my Eismon and my 2 analog youths, and he hit the check, and it was it was a Jack Raid analog youth Jack Raid. And they asked me to 5 memory with a guy. So that works. That works. Boys, we stack our decks. No, don't condone. We don't condone stacking decks.
We just wiggle our hands.
Okay, yes, exactly. We just manipulate our hands. So the last card, which is the Spicy Tech.
Ooh.
Back for Revenge.
Ooh.
Back for Revenge. So it is a card that I play as a one-off. This card at one-off, I want to play more. I don't. Look, I don't. The deck is tight as it is with everything that you want to do as loop-wise. The effect, though, one of your Digimon gets on deletion. Play this card. Without paying its memory cost. On play effects don't work. Now, you think, okay, you could see a couple use cases for it. You could put it onto a scatter mode, which you think is going to die. It doesn't, so it becomes useless. Because scatter mode is gem, guys, right? Always.
Yeah.
Scatter mode is gem. No, the real use case for it is playing your MIN-MERVA. So you would bring out your MIN-MERVA, you would back for Revenge it, you would either do one of two things. You would Deathclaw it to pop one of the Digimon, and MIN-MERVA would come back. You would play the MIN-MERVA off of it to get out another three bodies with the MIN-MERVA and the 2 Digimon, as long as you had something to Digicross with, which gives you theoretically 4 swings because MIN-MERVA now comes back, also has retaliation, so MIN-MERVA will give all retaliation, block and rush. You don't even need to swing with it, it can just be more of a defensive play to just keep it out. What you can also do is you can keep doing the loop and go, okay, sweet, I've got MIN-MERVA out, do the loop, MIN-MERVA comes back, level 5. Lilithmon, add back the back for Revenge, put it on MIN-MERVA again, do the loop. Yes.
And it keeps getting funnier every single time.
It gets funnier, and when your opponent sees it, they're very confused because it's a card that has not been played for a long time.
I think it was never played
It
period.
was played in a purple.
No. So a little bit of backstory with this card. BT4. Turbo Lobo into Ancient Garurumon. I played it with a purple package and activated back for Revenge on it. So when I would pass turn with it, activate this, it would die. A hybrid would be played off of it, and Ancient Garurumon will come out for free.
Hey!
Did that build top?
I never ended up playing it in a tournament.
Good. It's also to point out how flexible this card is. It also lets you do stupid stuff like you put it on a sub, swing the sub. Either the sub lives or it dies to security and summons itself back and you still get the werewolf. That's sort of it lets you be aggressive and get the extra swings where you otherwise might not be able to risk it.
Exactly.
Even if it's just you have fuck all but a werewolf on board, it's just okay, they've got 1 security, this is pretty safe.
Yeah, it can enable stupid lethals like that as well.
Exactly. So what I found myself doing sometimes is if I wanted to go for lethal but I didn't have enough memory to go for the loop, it would be a back for Revenge on, say, a Cerberus one. Exactly. I would go for the swing and would hope it died. Exactly. If it doesn't die, sweet. I get the werewolf and it still comes back. And then at times, or if it did die, comes back, werewolf, swing for game. I even saw myself putting it onto a werewolf at times. So I'd put it on the werewolf, swing with the werewolf. If it dies, sweet, comes back, another swing with rush. If it doesn't die, pop it myself, comes back anyway, swings for rush. The only other use case I found for it was I had to turbo out my trash. I put it on an Eismon. With Garbo and Demi, swung. It didn't end up dying, so I Deathclawed it. I Deathclawed it, killed their level 4, and then brought Eismon back out. just to Deathclaw it again, kill their other level 4, and then play Iceborne and leave on 1. So look, it worked out in the end of it.
Fucking immaculate.
I did something funny to X someone with that.
Exactly. So it does have its use cases. It doesn't have any security effects, so you can't add it back from. Yeah, you can't add it if it gets in security. If that happens, nothing happens.
But you can add it back with Lilith.
You can.
And that's why we play with Lilith.
That's why we play with Lilith. Alex, you have matchups. So that is the Before we go to the matchups, the only thing I would say I would probably change about this. I feel as there is an argument for Pandemonium Flame in the deck, but as a one-of. Because I found myself a lot of the time they would have a big level 6, and I would have no way to remove it.
If they're suspending, what's the condition?
It's unsuspended. It's unsuspended. So into the Black Wall Grey 1 matchup also, they're unsuspending anyway because they have reboot.
Yeah.
It's also a trump sword in security. It's
it was
fucking
also
nuts.
a trump sword in security, so it does give that extra removal. However, it is also for only for unsuspended. It is only for 2, so I can see that as a one-off, but I also do think this deck needs more removal because I would have loved to see that removal at times.
It's
an
an
argument for what do you call it, Slinger?
There is an argument for Slinger. Definitely an argument for Slinger. I see myself putting in at least one Slinger. I could put in the
soul.
I could take the soul out. Putting in the Pandemonium Flame, I'm not sure what I would take out. But obviously, I can have a look at the deck now.
We'll be iterating the list for sure coming up to the following events. That should also be in this format. So
I'm sure we'll be seeing this again in Sydney Sydney regionals or whatever.
I'll still be on loot. I'm not playing deals. I don't want to play best deck. That's why I didn't play Blackwall.
That's fine. That's the only reason why?
Alright.
Yeah, have fun.
Matchups.
Okay, matchups. Let's go to matchups. Okay. So, round 1. I versed Maste. That was a very interesting match because he ended up breaking game 1.
Wow.
Game 2, I didn't think I would see this in a Maste matchup, but I got merciful murdered. I got merciful murdered and all my stuff got put to the bottom of the deck.
Someone's been cooking a little too hard.
Someone's cooking a little too hard. Look, it paid off on that matchup. He ended up taking that round. Game 3, he took that game. Game 3, he did establish Maste. I was able to just swing out the game. So that was round 1. Round 2 was Black Hole Grand 1X. We don't need to get into that one because you've already heard about it. This is the 15-minute per round.
Those guys had enough fucking
shit.
shit.
Look, really chill guy. Really chill guy. Brandon, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But we already talked about this. You're a really cool dude. Sick tattoos, by the way. Round 3, I played the MIN-MERVA mirror.
Oh boy.
Yes, this is where the spicy take from the Purple Memory Boost is better than Jack Raid. That came to bite him in the butt today because he was only playing 2. But it did end up. He was also playing he was playing straight MIN-MERVA. The Ghazi at the end was what saved my ass. And a couple of misplays. But thankfully I did end up taking that game. So at the moment I am XO. Round 4 was a win against Grandis. I hate the Grandis matchup. You can play as defensive as you want. Grandis, you can play a Ghazi if you want. Grandis will just be like, sweet, I suspend you, you lose a memory. Thank you, Bandai, for reiterating that you want us to not gain memory but lose memory. Dumbest decision.
Fucking weird word, yeah.
Wording, exactly. Do not become Yu-Gi-Oh! No, it won't become that bad. I ended up winning that. Yes, round 5 was another Grandis matchup. That was to Levi. Shout out to Levi. Yes, champion of Nationals Oceanics. Thank you for that. Yes, take it for the New South Wales boys.
Newcastle.
Hey, New South Wales.
He's in the same state.
He's in the same state. Exactly.
All we're saying is we're better than Victoria.
Exactly. Even though it's here, we are much better than Victoria. We know this.
Well, yeah, give them a chance.
No!
We gave them a chance.
We gave them like 3!
Look, the Grandis matchup was extremely hard because Grandis just.
Grandis.
Grandis is just they have a line. It's an Ungus, but there's no interaction. Exactly.
Yeah, you need 3 retaliation blockers.
It's not even 3 retaliation blockers. I had 3 at one point, and they still got through it.
Jesus.
Sneemon, exactly. I will say, Sneemon and Grandis. I didn't think I'd see it today, but Sneemon was the reason I could not swing for games.
Levi's build in general was kind of cracked. The
It was
Giga Death, the Mega Death, the Sneemon, like.
I don't want to think about
Ice
Mega
Wall.
Death. Ice Wall. You play blue. You play blue. You play.
card now.
You play the card that got limited to 1 for obvious reasons.
I mean, Davis can search for Ice Wall, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it's Giga Death.
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out to the commentators. Yes, Davis can search Megadeth.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, boys. Joshua, you want to confirm that?
I expected the deck to win this event would also play Ice Wall, just like last year.
Ooh.
We'll get to what happened.
Ooh, the shade.
Hey, last year was 4 Ice Wall,
Oh, that
we
was.
played to that.
we played into that.
Hey, Declan.
Double
Yes, exactly.
Me
No,
as
we
well.
played into it in the semi-final. You did play into it.
Sorry,
I loved it.
Last Nationals, I went
we
to
had
7.
1 Ice Ball and 4
Seven.
cool ones.
7
Gauntlet
ones.
ones.
7
And I
guys.
still made it to top 16.
Got it now. Okay.
But with the Ice Wall with Grandis, if they have the Quagamon level 5 effect as well, they'll be losing 3.
You lose 3 members.
No. Yep. Oh wow! Exactly. Such interaction. Such interaction with that deck. Sweet.
Demonetized.
We won't punish that episode, guys.
Oh wow!
We're like fucking 50 minutes of the video.
Look. Okay.
Seven back.
We're good. Round 6. Another Black or Grey one. I don't like the Black or Grey one matchup. It's.
But we were saying it was so free.
I guess it's a different build.
Yeah. Look. Black or Grey one matchup is just. They have a bunch of stuff they can do on board. If they end up launching at you, hit 5 security, kill your tamers, it's just like okay. Kind of hard on the crackback.
Yeah.
They see their pieces.
If they see their pieces, it happens. There's a reason why people think it is the tier 1 of
The boogeyman.
Yes,
It's
as
the
Grandis
deck to beat.
look, as Grandis has pointed out, it's not the deck to beat today.
Nope.
Top 16 would show you that. Anyway, we ended up beating the Black or Grey one, which was mainly due to him having a deck check turn before and not seeing a rookie for 15 draws.
Oh.
That was the game 1. Yeah, he should shuffle more. Round 7 was also a loss to Black or Grey one. This was against Vincent Reyes. I did not get my revenge from Nationals semi-finals.
Next year.
Next year. Very
Gotta
soon.
love the brothers' rivalry.
He remembered double ice walling me 2 turns in a row. And he saw my face and was just like, I'm very sorry for that. It's okay. I hold no grudge against
Purple
him.
needs a flood thing like that.
No. Yeah, what? Stopping you from losing memory? Yeah, I'd love to see
Lose
that.
memory when your Digimon gets deleted.
Haha, very funny. And then round 8, Grandis. Ended up versing that and ended up pulling the win because... Actually, Kinkaku killed the Pomu, which ended up
Just letting you play.
Exactly, letting me play. So that was day 1. Ended up getting into top 32, which I was very happy about.
Yay.
As the champion, yes.
And the map.
And the map, exactly. Top 32 map.
It's the same one, but this is actually yours.
Look, it's actually a very nice map, arguably. I'm happy they're actually doing the full-size mats as well. Which is
We have memory count.
With memory
Good
counts,
job.
yeah.
Gotta write this down.
Okay.
Next year we that.
Yes, okay. So top 32. Round 1 was up against one of the only 2 Jesmon matchups in Top Gun, which was an annoying matchup. Round 1 I did end up taking it after getting GX. And then round 2 he just did not see a level 5. And that was someone
We can punish the memory
yes.
quite heavily, but in saying that, if they play a little carefully and we don't open it as well, it can be pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Correct. He did brick on Systemons game 2, so there wasn't any play for that. By that point, it was just he had 2 security, and I had them in over into MIN-MERVA. So ended up taking the game for that. Round 2 was the grandest matchup that you lost to on day 1.
Yeah.
And it was just game 1. He ended up playing the top deck game, going into Grand Kawaga for 2, and top decking the grandest, which is all he needed. If he didn't do that, there would have been a game 3. So ended up swinging for game on that. Because he suspended my second blocker that I had played, and then was able to just go MIN-MERVA, block race stand swing. So very sad. And then game 2, just grandest things, 3, 4, 5, 6, sweet, bring up, play, hybrid for you.
Hey, bingo.
It didn't go. Hey, look, it didn't go that well.
Balance deck.
Such a balanced deck, guys, right? Yes. I think honestly, surprisingly, Black Hole Gremlin was not the deck to beat. Yeah, it's
I think out of all of us, only one person played Black Hole Grey.
Yeah, only one person played Black Hole Gremlin.
Shut up.
Well, what do you played?
No, he's fine now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Dude, I can say, like, as a Grandest player and a Black Hole player, those decks are deadly when they see their pieces, but they're very high rolly decks. Like, that's the issue, that
Agreed.
it's very high rolly of a meta that if you brick, especially for a few turns, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Okay. But yeah, that was basically Nationals for 2023. 2022.
Easy enough. What are your shoutouts?
Look, okay. Shout outs to Mr. Allen for getting bullied by purple every single time.
You can thank you for telling you to play the deck you're good at.
Yeah, that too. Actually, thank you to all the boys here for playtesting. It was it was the practice I needed. Honestly, it was the practice I needed.
It's nice because we sort of really met last Nats,
Correct. We did really meet last Nats, and then
it's just grown from there.
Exactly.
It's been so nice.
We were both playing the same loop list, and Ari just happened to be playing
I was just
loop
playing
as
loop.
well, and we were the only loop players in top 16, so we ended up talking.
Wow.
Yeah, they were in the same
Two
game.
can really
exactly.
look.
We ended up working out. They were in Sydney, and it worked from there.
I think the start of that was also Josh for his online tournaments.
Actually, that is true. Just for your online tournaments during COVID.
Hey.
Thank you. You got me some hella money through those. You got me through COVID. And yeah, actually, we didn't even show off the door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll go get the door.
Brief intermission whilst we'll go get the
Yours
drive.
or is just mine?
Just yours. Mine is in the other one.
Let me.
Yeah.
Yes. Top 16 prizes, guys.
Keep doing
Yes, exactly. Shout out locals. Penrith from the deep. Very casual group of people, but honestly, extremely fun.
Best
and
place for laughs.
It's best place for laughs. Exactly.
When do you usually do the
This is
locals?
look. It's usually on a Sunday. It's a Sunday at 11 o'clock. So middle of the day. It's Penrith, kind of local, easy place to get to from the train station. Even as well, go Game Trader Swansby. I haven't sadly I haven't been able to go enough. But now driving, I'm able to go.
Now playable.
Yes, guys, top 16 now playable cards. So yeah, if anyone wants to buy a playset, give us a call.
We got two right here.
Exactly. Thank you to Mr. Cameraman for shooting the video.
Hey.
Thank you, Mark.
2 hours of filming later.
2 hours.
Well, we'll do outtakes, right?
Hey.
We haven't shown this 51st.
I think yeah.
I've got muscle memory. I feel like it's my
All right.
All right. And then,
Yeah. Honestly, thank you to everyone that was just. Yes. Thank you to the Sticky Hand. Very useful. Very fun. We'll show an image right now in the little corner of our game plan from day one.
Yep.
Mark will make sure to put that in post editing.
yeah.
Yes, Mr. Will not suck dick because you didn't do it.
Mr. Enchilada.
No, look, shout out to TAC. You actually did a extremely good event. I think
It's much better.
I think the
Beautiful.
best event so far.
It's been super clean.
I honestly, look, best event. Even online webcams, there's always going to be issues. In-person events, this went very well. Masks kind of suck, but obviously we live in a time where it's needed. It can only go up from here. And we'll see you in the next Sydney event.
All right.
Exactly.
Whoa.